A very good morning. So today we will discuss about the directive principles of state policy. Now, as the name is directive, means guidelines. So these are the guidelines to the government for welfare of the people to establish a welfare state. It means the government has to take such measures which will help to establish a welfare state. So, Dr. Ambedkar has called the directive principles as the powerful instrument for transformation of India. If these directive principles are applied in a better way, then it will transform India into a better India. So that was the view of Dr. Ambedkar, and we will discuss about the categories of the directive principles. The directive principles are categorized into 4 types. What are the 4 categories? The first are economic principles. It means these principles are for economic development. It means under it what has been achieved? Equal pay for equal work. मैन और वुमेन, मेल और फीमेल के बीच में कोई डिफरेंस नहीं होगा, बराबर की वर्क के लिए सो इक्वल पेमेंट इज टू बी गिवन. सेकेंड, एडिक्वेट मीन्स ऑफ लाइवलीहुड. All the people of India should get proper means of livelihood. Some way or the other, they should get the ways to earn for their living. Now, what are the social principles? Raise standard of living of people. It is one of the main aim of directive principles of state policy, that government has to take adequate ways to raise the standard of living of people. Public health, it has to improve public health. Public health facilities are to be improved. Adequate means of livelihood. लोगों को adequate means of livelihood मिलना चाहिए, so they could do something so that they could earn their livelihood. That also comes under social principles. Now, what are the Gandhian principles? Under it, village panchayats are to be organized. Cottage industries are to be promoted so that people at village level, at least they could get some employment. Now, what is the 4th category? International peace and security. It is one of the main objective of directive principle is to maintain international peace and security and to maintain friendly and just relationship with the countries of the world with its neighbors. So these are the 4 principles, 4 categories of principles of the directive principles of state policy. Now, what are the significance of these directive principles of state policy? Under it, right to education has been implemented. Right to education comes under right to freedom. It was implemented in 2005. Every child will get right to education, specifically in the age group of 6 to 14, and it has been included in the fundamental duty. हमने पढ़ा कि right to education has been included in the fundamental duty कि हर parent जो है अपने बच्चे को primary education देगा. Then Environment Protection Act, to protect the environment जो हमारी fundamental duty है, and to protect our environment, and Wildlife Environmental Protection Act and Wildlife Protection Act has been passed. Then National Commission for Welfare of Women has been established also. Right to work has been guaranteed. हमारे जो specifically program है मनरेगा, महात्मा गांधी नेशनल रूरल एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन एक्ट, एम्प्लॉयमेंट गारंटी एक्ट. इट विल, गांव में जो लोग हैं अगर इनको एम्प्लॉयमेंट नहीं मिला है साल भर में तो पर्टिकुलर डेज के लिए दे विल बी प्रोवाइडेड एम्प्लॉयमेंट. सो दैट इज वन ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट प्रोग्राम्स. तो दिस इज द सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ द डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ स्टेट policy. The next topic we are going to discuss is secularism. Already we have discussed what is secularism. When each and every citizen of a country is given freedom to practice and profess their own religion, we call the term as secularism. So India is a secular country, and here we will discuss what are its various aspects. The first aspect is that every citizen is free to practice and profess their own religion. Second one, state will not discriminate any group or individual on the basis of religion. should not be any discrimination on the basis of religion. So these are the two important aspects of secularism that you need to remember in class 8. Now our preamble itself says that there will be liberty of belief, faith and worship. It means religious freedom will be granted to each and every citizen. The right to freedom of religion, there is a fundamental right. You have discussed just in the previous class 6 fundamental rights. So one of the fundamental right is to give freedom of religion. It means everyone can practice and profess their own religion. So what is the significance of the secularism in India? It helps in maintaining harmony. The secularism practice in India helps in maintaining harmony. It gives equal rights to all. It protects minorities from the exploitation of majority. It gives rights to minority. It limits the powers of majority also. So, Indian secularism has the following significance. Under it, government makes exceptions for certain communities. Government can make special provision. It means can give exception to some groups. Like take the example of Sikhs. They are given freedom to wear pagdi and instead of helmet while driving a two-wheeler. And they are also allowed to keep a kirpan as religious symbol, whereas others could not keep any such type of weapon as it is against law, but a Sikh can keep because it is their religious symbol. Likewise, sometimes state interfere in the matters of religion. Why the state interfere in the matters of religion? It is to give justice to people. Like take the example. The practice of untouchability has been eradicated from the Indian society. So that is how the government interfered in the matters of religion to eradicate the practice of untouchability. One more is there, that is right of inheritance. Property right jo tha. Earlier the right of property was of the male child only. It means in the parental property, the male child was having the right of inheritance, but it was amended. Now all the children of a parent will have equal share in the property, whether male or female. So recently you have seen that the present government have come up with the end of the policy of triple talaq. So that is also an interference in the matter of religion. So the government sometimes interfere in the matters of religion to eradicate social evils. One more is there, sometimes the government can give special grants. Under right to freedom of religion, there is no such provision that government will impose any tax or government fund will be given to the religious institutions. But under certain circumstances, it can give some fund for the development of also the religious groups. So these are the various aspects of Indian secularism. So we have completed 4 topics. First one was fundamental rights, then fundamental duties, then we have completed directive principles of state policy, and the last topic was Indian secularism.